Alright, so Red-Green Frenzy. What in the heck is this deck trying to do? This deck is a pseudo-combo/engine deck that also has kind of a beatdown backup plan. So we have kind of this Explore package of Wildgrowth Walker into Merfolk Branchwalker and Jadelight Ranger, much like Black-Green Midrange has. But this deck also has Experimental Frenzy. Would a sideboardless deck be a workaround submission rather than a regular submission? No, that's fine, Hurley. I can throw a sideboard together quick for a normal submission. So we chain through our deck with Experimental Frenzy, and things like Wayward Swordtooth and these Explore creatures let us clear extra lands off the top of our deck, and eventually we get a bunch of lands into play, and we cast either a giant Banefire or a kick Fight with Fire to kill our opponent. So let's go ahead and dive on in here to some games. Crappy flash decks or crappy as a decks? Definitely flash decks. I like playing instant speed. The actual answer is you can play both some of the time. Hey, well, welcome to a live one, Dismo. I'm glad you enjoy the YouTube stuff. Or respush. Yeah, sometimes you just like attack with your Wildgrowth Walkers, but a lot of the times the game ends with the giant Banefire. In playing with all possible ideas for Rakdos aggro with Judith, do you think there's an Isrith shell with Lavamancer and Vanisho that puts the wizard count at 11 and 12 in Sports Wizard Lightning? Maybe. I definitely think all of your Judith decks should have Theater of Horrors in them too. That card's really good. Something that I want to work on at some point this week too is I want to play a mid-range deck with Theater of Horrors,
yeah,
or an aggro deck that boards into a control deck.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Transform a little bit. I've got some dealer's choice points I haven't distributed yet. I might put one of those in the queue. This hand, like, has a bunch of mana in it, which means if we top deck a thing, we're going to be in a good spot. It's really nice that Incubation Druid makes a color of a land that we control. So, like, this can be our second red source if we draw Phoenix, which is nice. Yeah, you can always find all of my past deck lists on my website, or on my Stream Decker page, and that's exactly something that we want to draw. So, sign me up. Swamp Discovery. We need to dodge Thought Erasure and then ideally stick the Experimental Frenzy through a counterspell. And then straight blue-black has a real... Oh. Hello there. I don't know exactly what you're doing, opponent, but I'm picking up what you're putting down over there. Thoughts on Drakes plus Rhythm. Matt was poking around with that last night. I'm not sure that it really fixes problems that you have. I feel like Drakes in general is kind of okay against control. I think I'm just gonna stick this Experimental Frenzy now.
Yeah, it was not my favorite deck ever.
Oh, I should have played the Mountain, maybe. So, Experimental Frenzy, this is a card that's kind of fallen. I haven't seen too many people playing this just yet. Dwight, damn near 3 years, so I'm glad to have been along with the ride, seeing your stream grow to success it's had. Thank you for the 34 months, Dwight. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. So, Frenzy says I can't play cards out of my hand, but I can play the cards off the top of my deck. So, this Jadelight's going to get drawn, and they'll be able to play the card underneath it. That's funny. So, they have Wildgrowth Walker in their deck, and they played my Merfolk Branchwalker. Good clean live-in. I mean, like, what problem does that deck have that, like, growth, that adding growth spiral solves, really? Like, again, be problem focused. Think about issues that you have and how you're fixing them. Remember, this frenzy doesn't always work. It's a little experimental. Sometimes it works better than others. So normally, Thief of Sanity is pretty insurmountable card advantage because it draws a card off our deck every turn. But that being said, Experimental Frenzy can sometimes just, like, draw you 8 cards in a turn. So we definitely could potentially overpower this card advantage. Turns out coffee is the weird aunt of invention. Okay, so like I have this in my back pocket now. So I'm drawing this Wildgrowth Walker next turn, which means if my Frenzy bricks off again, I could blow it up and then go Walker, Brancher, Jadelight Ranger, and gain a bunch. Well, like clearing the lands isn't really meaningful because like I just draw the land the next turn anyways. I'm hoping to find a Banefire or a Fight with Fire to take this out of play. That's really unfortunate. I think I have to blow this up. And normally, like, we have, like, Explorer creatures, and we have other things of that nature that can, like, help with that. Help with clearing lands off the top of your deck. The Wayward Swordtooth lets us play 2 lands per turn, so let's just chain through our deck, but not everything always comes together, unfortunately. We're probably dead at this point. Yeah, I'm just gonna move along, actually. I think we're a little bit too far behind. So definitely want a bunch of Lava Coils in a matchup against not only Thief of Sanity, but also they showed us Hostage Taker. I'm gonna trim Rekindling Phoenix, and I'm gonna trim Fight with Fire. It's a little expensive. Cheaper. Lava Coil is just cheaper. I'm thinking about these other cards. Vivien's like okay for shooting Thief, but I don't think I want a third one here. They seem a little bit more mid-rangey, and the third Vivien's generally for grinding out control or shooting down lots of angels. Cindervines. Cindervines is for... My opponent's deck looks like it's mostly creatures. They seem like they're like a Sultai creature mid-range deck, so Cindervines doesn't seem very good here. Adapting Druid on turn 3. Maybe? I don't know, like, I can't know that the Frenzies are going to be Rancid Duo. And, like, getting the Frenzy down while they're tapped out is a big deal as well. Again, like, this hand isn't amazing, but, like, my opponent's deck is a blue-black deck, so it likely has Thought Erasure. And in general, you should just keep hands that have lands and castable spells against Thought Erasure decks, because if you mulligan for a hand that's better, they're just gonna, like, take your spell away from you, and you'll just be back to square one. Again, remember, sideboarding is 1-to-1, so if you want to suggest we board a card in addition to saying why it might be good in the matchup, you should talk about what card that we already have in our deck it's better than. I'm gonna bin that, looking for higher impact cards at this point. I think Arena will get an ad system for looking at pack/gems. You mean like watch ads get stuff? I have no idea. Will I update the older decks on my site with new cards? Would like to see updated versions. Yeah, at some point. I think I'm gonna start doing that tomorrow. I'm probably gonna put some of the new decks that we played, like White Black Angels and Bant Flash, up there. Attack for 6. A Zinzaz. Morning. Afternoon. It's afternoon, I guess. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. here in the cornfields. Alright, well. Found a use for Banefire, at least. It's really unfortunate that I can't Banefire and Wayward Swordtooth this turn, but I have to Banefire this turn so they don't get to recast my Druid. I'm going to hold this forest in my hand on purpose, because if they bounce this and replay it next turn, I'd like to be able to... Well, I guess if they bounce this... If they Thought Erasure, I'm going to be sad because they get both the cards out of my hand here, but if they play, like, Discovery, I'd much rather discard the forest than the Swordtooth. Okay, sweet. Warded. What's going on, Kaiwu? So they've got a lot more stuff than us, but if they don't have counterspells and we find a Frenzy, it could very quickly run away with the game. pretty dead to a sweeper here. But there's no guarantee that they're even playing sweepers in their deck, though, because they had, like, Thief of Sanity and Frilled Mystic and Hostage Shaker and stuff like that, so they could be a more mid-range creature-based build. Frenzy. Frenzy! You could have adapted the Druid and played the Swordtooth. Yeah, you're super correct. Need to forget that math on the Incubation Druid into next spell is something that I haven't done enough yet to have it, like, off the cuff. If you need modern and EDH in Arena to make you happy, you're probably never going to be happy. I'd recommend seeking happiness in other places. I don't think you really need Boars. I think Boar is a really clunky card that is going to get stuck in your hand a lot, whereas Banefire is a big mana payoff that, like, can be a removal spell in a pinch. So we actually just got done playing Green Red Elves with Rhythm and Banefire, and it was really sweet. Was it sick? I don't think it was sick. I think because we couldn't play the Swordtooth the turn we got the thing back. I'm pretty sure it wasn't sick. We're dead here. Even if we'd have kept the 3/5, we'd have been in a pretty bad spot there. As always, a friendly reminder, if you want to critique decks on stream, my deck, my opponent's deck, decks in the queue, be constructive, be specific. If you're not sure how to do that with Magic, there's our stream rules that give you good, clean examples of how to do that. So we have played this archetype before this latest set released with the path of whatever that makes all your creatures explore, and that the extra explorers just like were win more. They weren't something that we needed.
Oh, look at that.
That's pretty good if we get to keep it. It always speaks volumes that there's so many places on the internet that, like, people just get to, like, scream and fling their poop at each other. That, like, when I come in here and I talk very clearly about there's rules and we enforce the rules when you break them, that people are like, gosh, you're so mean. It's like, no, the people that come in here and break my rules are the rude ones. Alright, this is looking like it could be the Fog deck. I'm just gonna Frenzy here. Yes, you can untap land between multiple reclamation triggers. That is true.
I will defend my allies.
Yeah, turn 2 is real good. The old Wayward into second elf. Definitely one of our better starts here. I'm gonna keep that one there, and then hopefully there's 3 lands underneath. Give Karna love tap here. If they have a Cleansing Nova next turn, we're probably in trouble. Glad I put four Cindervines on the board. Yeah, probably dying slowly.
I'll make use of that later.
Have some shock lands. +1 card, draw a land.
Yep.
Always. Cleansing Nova is white. Gift of Paradise makes 2 mana of a color. You have to put full control mode on to use the swap between multiple triggers. So the goal here is to get enough mana to Banefire them before...
Sell the wreckage turn.
They do have some wreckage up. So I'm going to go ahead and Banefire Karn here. Because this one's not big enough to kill them yet, obviously. This leaves us room to, like, play more stuff out.
Nice.
That. Land. What do we think?
I'd probably just attack with that. If this shuffles you as well, like I think you need the.
Yeah, I think I need to like pressure them, right?
Pretty good.
Okay, they didn't have anything. That's good. Yeah, Frenzy with the Wayward Swordtooth gets much better, right? Because the most of the time when you have to stop playing cards with Frenzy, especially once you get going a little bit, is because you hit a land patch. So like, the Nexus of Fate here like feels annoying, but ultimately it doesn't matter because we killed the card. Like if my opponent had a Planeswalker going while they're using this Nexus of Fate, it would be a big deal. But because they don't, like, it doesn't really matter. They had Settle Mana, chat. They have Gift of Paradise on their thing, which makes 2 mana of a color. This kills enchantments, which is probably meaningful.
Yeah, it's okay.
Giving life doesn't really matter.
Not particularly.
This seems fine. They don't have counter spells, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was thinking. No, probably not. I was thinking the fight with fire might be better than something, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I just want like all my beaters.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, this deck's actually really good at getting settled because we have so many Banefires.
Yeah.
There's like, alright, settle you before I die. It's like, alright, untap Banefire you. It's like, alright. Yeah, I had a second Swordtooth that didn't attack. If it was my only Swordtooth, I wouldn't have run it in, but I think one Swordtooth in play is plenty. And like, getting 2 lands out of my deck is great. Or 3 lands or whatever. I'm gonna mulligan this, just doesn't do anything particularly fast or exciting. I don't have any double red cards in my deck. Definitely want to dig for green mana here. Look at that. Listen, chat. If you have Llanowar Elves in your deck, I'd recommend always playing it on the first turn of the game.
Yeah. Good.
My opponent's name is Fire Bad Matt Good, by the way. Did you appreciate that?
Yeah, I did see that.
Excellent.
So
I do have 2 Ts.
Much smarter than I am.
It's okay, Matt. I love you and you're 1 T.
Oh. So cute. Good one.
It's a biggin'.
I forgot that that's. Yep.
Alright, your move. Next turn I get to stick Vivien in, start generating card advantage, which is nice. Not worried about it. Have a land.
Allow me.
Hey, are they about to go on the beatdown? Elevator going up.
How this thing goes is up to you, pal.
It's a shame she can't grab Cindervines.
Yeah. That's rough. I think we got.
I think I shipped this here, right?
I agree. Like they're gonna.
It's
chop
like
it.
they get to swing back with Light of Autumn, but like I don't really care about Vivien's down tick at the moment.
I think pressure on the card is correct. I think they're gonna lose that one sword fold.
Deal. Means they're not pressuring my Vivien here. This deck seems sweet. Just beat Mono Red after going to 3 life with my black white Afterlight Subture. Nice. So they are. This is actually. I like what the opponent's done here. They've like recognized that like the way their hand is set up, they should be the beatdown, and like they're executing that accordingly. Maybe I'm supposed to shoot a card token here.
The wilds like
Well,
I
you
do.
just have Jadelight Ranger, so you don't have to. Well, you can. Good. That's terrible.
I'm just looking for Experimental Frenzy at this point, or Cindervines. I think I Banefire this for 1, right? Just take it off the table.
Yeah, I mean, you can... should you attack is my question here? With the Wildgrowth Walker?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find all of the upcoming decks that we're going to be playing on stream today, as well as in the future, at bit.ly/deckq, or by going to my website, jeffhoagland.com, and clicking Deck Q. Tizzard is potentially very annoying. I guess he draws 2 cards now. Yeah, I think I should have down-ticked the Vivien on the Karn token to prevent that from happening.
Right on schedule. I'm not ready for this quite
Yikes.
That can kill either one of those, right?
So I can down-tick here.
This is
And then I can Banefire.
That attack everything at...
No, I guess
You can send everything at... Oh yeah, you're one short. You're one short from doing it here.
So I'm gonna send both of these here, and I'm gonna attack this here, and maybe they'll just let him take a love tap.
hardly my worst defeat.
So I think I just hold the Banefire for now.
Yeah, you just have to try. Because next turn you can get it.
Yeah, because next turn, even if this pluses to 7, I'll have 5, 6, 7. So I can kill this with Banefire. Although they are into Nexus mana range now, which is a little bit scary. Yeah, the Teamer Amulet deck was really bad this morning, Gigalet.
I made you a gift.
Was not fantastic. Second Carnage Strange. They often don't have more than one.
I will fight for all.
Okay, they were all here.
That's a sideboard plan.
That is cool.
That is a sideboard plan. I am kinda...
Wow, you are toast.
I think we're dead.
I'm like almost 100%. Unless you find like a Carnage here, maybe.
I don't have a Carnage Tyrant.
Oh, you took him out?
The
Oh, you
wilds
didn't
are
do it.
my
Yeah,
shield.
I mean, I don't, yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. That was sweet. Yeah, like, so, and this is something we talked about earlier. It's one of the sweet things that you could do with sideboards is like, we talked earlier about how the Bant Nexus deck seemed like it could never win a postboard game, and that you needed to transform in some way, and like, turning into like a Super Friend style deck seems like a neat way to take it.
Yeah, that was gasoline.
That being said, even knowing that they're doing that, I don't know that I changed how I'm sideboarded. Maybe these Phoenixes are better.
Do you not want a Carnage Tyrant to try and get through the token, like the card tokens?
I guess that's fair.
Like, I
These
would-
Wildgrowth Walkers are pretty medium.
Yeah, I don't think they're very good. It's decent early pressure, but like, are we?
Alright, let's do that.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What deck is this? You got 2 Girl decks for. This is Red Green Frenzy. The Bant Flash deck has been sweet. You can find all the videos of it if you weren't able to catch it all live at jeffhoagland.com. Click videos, then standard. I think I do this, and then next turn I do this into this into this.
Yeah, they don't have a card.
There's no reason to like. I guess they have what's it called? They have the stupid knight.
This could be a tap land. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, like if they have the knight, they're killing this and not this.
oh, that's
I guess I should technically explore first if I draw land healers, feud a little bit of info.
I think you gotta pin it.
I think I just leave it because if I'm not gonna play it out of my hand once I do this next turn, right? And like if they kill this, I then have a backup. So like whatever I'm drawing next turn is gonna be a brick.
They're not doing anything. That's good for you.
I did not get to play Depths the other day. Because Moto had so much downtime, I ended up stopping before we got to it. I think we're gonna do Depths Tuesday morning, or no, Wednesday morning, because there's a modern deck that someone bumped up really high.
Blowing up Cindervines next turn? Oh, you have one on top here.
I think I just let the Cindervines hang out.
Okay.
Have to win that. Haven't played a land yet this turn either, so it's even more appealing to Ben. Ding, 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 ding. I might as well leave that there because I can't play it anyways. So I might as well draw back. So it's like a fine card to have in my hand for if I correct the Frenzy later. Like we mentioned earlier, the Frenzy is experimental. Sometimes it does great things. Sometimes it does a whole lot of nothing. You never really know.
Yes.
Do I have an updated list? I have the deck list I was sent. No, I don't think I'm really supposed to blow up the map, right?
I was thinking about it, but I don't know.
I guess if they don't fog this turn, blowing up map kills them. Can't cast that. Haven't played a land. Can't play that. All right. Yeah, they're just dead. Yeah, and like my opponent, we talked about my opponent's transformational sideboard there. Like, in order to board in all those planeswalkers, they must have to trim some of their fogs, right? So they're probably less likely to have them there. No, they were dead to the creatures I already had in play, who is craft, because I attacked for 9 and put them to 2, and Cindervines, when you blow it up, does 2 damage to the opponent. I really love the addition of Cindervines to this format, because it gave these red-green decks that previously had a really hard time interacting with the Nexus combo decks a great sideboard tool to be able to interact with them. This hand's, like, not amazing, but it's fine. I think I would mulligan this hand if I was on the draw, because it doesn't have a play until turn 3. But I think on the play, this hand is, like, reasonable to keep in most places. So, if my opponent had sealed away one of my 3-power attackers while it was attacking, I would just Cindervines it in response, and then it wouldn't get exiled, and they would still die. The new house is great, Namichill. Have a dedicated studio space instead of just, or a dedicated room. We don't have studio space getting done this summer. We have a dedicated room for streaming from here, which is wonderful. Look at that. Perfect. I'm going to bin that for now. It's probably not good to have a bunch of those against Stomping Ground anyways, and I really want to try and hit some more land drops to play this Vivien. Yep. Just go Swordtooth, extra land here. You know what, I should have attacked there. Because if they explore again, I'm not going to be able to block anyways. Phoenix in the sideboard for the matchup where you want something evasive or something resilient. Phoenix is really good against black-green midrange. Yeah, they're off Amazon, Namichill. It'd probably help a little bit more if I put some on the ceiling, but I'm only going to be down here for a little bit, so I don't really want to deal with sticking stuff up there. Do I want to do this? I think I'm actually going to play the Jadelight Ranger here, because if this hits a land, I can play the other Swordtooth. That's the perfect outcome here, because now I get to do this and then play this land, and now I ascend. This is my turn 3, turn 4.
What?
This is my turn 5. Sorry. No wait, they're on.
This is their 4th turn.
They haven't missed a land drop. Yeah, this was my turn 4. Yeah, this is my turn 4.
Oh, a good one. Shoot that thing down.
I mean, it doesn't do anything. It just comes back. Right?
So it makes them forces the blocks other.
Let's
other
see
ways.
if you're worthy.
Is that good to shoot?
They're at 16. I guess if you shoot it and they don't block though, then they kill your Vivien. So like that sucks. They're not killing your Vivien if you.
So like, okay, so if I shoot this, let's talk through combat. If I shoot the Phoenix and I attack with all of these, they could go like block one Swordtooth, chump the other Swordtooth. This is going forever. They take 5 down to 11. The problem with trying to race here is that like you just never race a Wildgrowth Walker, right? So like, I think if they didn't have Wildgrowth Walker in play, I think being aggressive here is a fine line. But because they have the Wildgrowth Walker, it just becomes like incredibly unappealing. dig a little bit more. All I want for Christmas is experimental frenzy. Experimental frenzy. Do 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 do. I'm like, if they attack my Vivien with their Phoenix this turn, they have a hard time protecting their Vivien for my 5/5s the following turn. It's like a bird shirt. So like, Vivien's gonna breed like gain 8, draw 2, which is like a good exchange for us. And like, if we find a frenzy, we're gonna bury them.
Most wounds.
Well, I guess their Vivien kills my frenzy.
Meet my newest friend.
Did you first start to think, when did I first start to think that you might make the stream a full-time job? When it started paying me enough money to make it a job. When I had enough subs to go, oh, this could pay some of my bills, so we should spend some more time doing it. I think we're good. Here.
Getting close to it.
I guess if we hit frenzy and like have a good turn, I'm through 2 of my Banefires though, right? I was just 1. I bought him the Banefire off on him.
I only have 39 cards on it too. Like you can go off. If you have friends, you're going off.
What did I do before? I have a master's degree in mathematics. I've worked as a systems analyst. I've worked teaching. I did that whole adjunct thing for a while, a couple of smaller colleges. I don't look at decklist while I'm streaming. There's just too much going on. You know, keeping track of chat and the game and Matthew. You know, Matthew needs a lot of attention.
Hard to keep track of.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
All right, well that's a start.
I suppose.
Let's start.
Saved your book.
Yep. So if they play Vivien, shoot my bird, kill my Vivien comes back, kills their Vivien, and taking their Vivien out gives me better outs towards eventually hitting frenzy.
Lord, is great. Does everyone still want this game on mobile?
Everybody, yeah, mobile one, please.
Man, that's rough. Yeah, it's a good one too. Tubes.
So like we have enough lands here in play, and like we have the double Wayward Swordtooth that like if we eventually find one of our 4 frenzies in these 37 cards, like we end up in an okay spot.
I thought they were gonna shove more.
I'm a survivor.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm kind of surprised. I guess we could just double block this at this point.
Yeah, but that like clears you out a little bit though. I don't know.
Balance comes.
Jeez. It's so long experiment.
Again, every land we put into play makes a frenzy better when we draw it eventually. Hey, Enk with the brand new Prime Sport. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that. All right, I can't wait for whatever she's making.
Just let this die, right?
Gotta grab the Neo bar chip.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
Candy flavored protein.
It was good earlier.
I didn't miss you there, Flossie. I was just eating my protein bar. Thank you very much for the Prime support. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here.
Fight them, you maggots!
I don't even know what you're looking for here.
I don't know. I think we're done. I'm just gonna take one more draw.
Meet my newest friend.
It's a sweet card. Like I said, I think that card is interesting.
Nice.
All right, excellent.
Good rip.
Sometimes there's no frenzy in the top half of your deck, and that's just how it goes. Midway Monsters with the brand new Prime support. Monster 91. 91, were you also born in the 90s? Matthew, you're old. You're from the 80s, right?
87. Thanks.
87, jeez.
87.
That's so long ago, Matthew.
Yeah, I almost.
I think I want the Rekindling Phoenix is in here. Vivien's not fantastic.
Yeah, this is not great. His Deathgorge-
Lava Coils are great.
Deathgorge pretty bad. I was wondering if like you want to get bigger with Carnage.
Baby's just out of diapers. Yeah, that's like the problem is we don't have a good way to defend Vivien from their Phoenixes, and that's one of the reasons why we want Phoenix in our deck.
Yeah, I was thinking like Carnage Tyrant is good because he gets the biggest thing on the board, but I don't know that that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty rough.
All right, 2 more trims here theoretically. I'm gonna trim a Banefire and a Druid.
Yeah, the
Let's do that. Fire bad, Matt. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the sub. We just played, right? Thanks for dropping in. Oh, good luck in the rest of your games today. Don't worry, chat. I was only born in 91, but I've been an angry old man since I was 17.
Oh yeah.
I am by Matthew's like 17 and I'm like 50 mentally, so. I'm 28, actually. I'm a January child.
Sweetest.
Sure. And
The sweetest.
do-do-do-do-do-do. This game is esports ready, Matthew. Esports ready. We're so good at this. I'm good at drawing elves on one. I am not so good at drawing our second color of mana. I think this hand was a fine keep. Like, we had Jadelight Ranger to dig a little bit. We do have the frenzy to get going once we hit it. Alright, we need to hit the red source this turn or we're dead.
Safe bet. Alright, alright.
So, you're saying there's a chance. I should have killed this one.
I don't know.
That doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm probably not attacking. Is Matthew my partner? No. Oh, we have shared a bed.
Many times.
Matthew is one of my buddies that we used to travel to play. When I traveled to play a bunch of Magic for forever, he drove around the country with me, flew around the country a little bit.
Yeah. Good times.
And when you're traveling to play a bunch of Magic, you're mostly broke. So
You're
like
dead broke.
you put like 4 people, 5 people, sometimes 7 or 8 people in a hotel room to like make sure costs stay down.
Partner in crime. I like that. I agree. Okay.
Okay.
Can you smack it there? Close
We're getting close here. Yeah, like this gets turned on next turn. So like if the rest of their hand is mopey poop, we could be okay.
Druid is your second.
Okay. They don't have like a Jadelight here. They're in a lot of trouble. They're mousing over things like they have a Doom Blade. Who's dead? Maybe they have Rakdos and they're all dead. And this thing being a 5/5 is so good. You're like this booty is huge.
You're 8 yeah. Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna 5/5.
That was good.
Even if they have a Planeswalker to kill this with, like we have Banefire plus Phoenix here.
Yep. Pretty good. Nice.
Alright. Just waiting on Dora here.
Well, we're done.
Dora the Explorer reporting for duty. Leave that one right there. Triggers. Oh, are we done here? Alright, excellent. Glad we understand.
That was something. So what did they? I don't even know what they turned into here. Where's the fight with fire is good?
I don't know. I'm playing Esper control with a tight mana base and had 34 deck scoop to turn 4, turn 2 Thought Erasure. Are you playing best of one? Gosh, all the hands that are all spells look so good, right? Listen, when you don't have an elf in your opener, Matthew, you mulligan.
Sure.
Gobble. Just need a frenzy. Going on a bear hunt. Gonna find a frenzy. Do 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 do. Alright. The old double ramps. Like one of the better starts. Yeah, there's Espers. If there's a good Esper deck in the format, it's going to be one of the harder things to figure out because there's so many different directions you can take that archetype in, and like you need to have your answers line up well. Not a frenzy. Go away. 7 permanents. Thank you for the entertainment. It's been great to see your stream grow. Rain Tangy, thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm running the no blocks here because I want to make sure I have as many permanents in play as possible so I can try and hit the ascend for this. Like if this hits a land, we ascend. Unfortunate. We'd have had 2 5/5s this turn. We'd have run them over. So I'm watching every step since Thursday, and I don't want to play Modern ever again. Yep. 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 Yeah, we're watching, and the City's Blessing is a thing where like once you hit it, you keep it forever, and like so if we would have hit the land last turn to like get the Swordtooth down, we would have had to still have a 5/5 here. Yeah, we're still gonna do some Modern and Legacy. I think while Standard's hot, I'm probably only gonna do 1 Moto League each morning. And all that. While the viewer numbers are good and the queue is deep. So pretty far behind at this point. I guess they haven't missed a... Yeah. The Vivien probably puts it away because, like, Vivien's away sitting on the table that can, like, kill our Experimental Frenzy.
Yeah, Banefire for it.
I guess that's true.
If you hit, you have to hit here.
I have to land here. Alright, well, the double land means that I can Banefire her next turn. I guess I could just ship into her this turn.
Yeah, I would probably. Like, they can't double. If they want to double block, that's whatever.
Yeah, if they, like, double block and then trade.
Shoot, so it takes 3.
And then, like, I could Banefire down whatever creature they put into play next turn.
You have to do better than that.
Well, they had a 3/2 that didn't block.
That's what I'm saying. If I knew they were.
Give her a little tap.
You'll see.
Next problem. All right, Frenzy into Banefire. Frenzy into Banefire. All right. All right. So I'm gonna attack both of these in Nebraska, and the reason why I'm doing this is I want Phoenix to be able to kill Vraska next turn, so I need to do at least 1 point of damage to her this turn, because otherwise she's gonna scroll up to 5. Also, taking her off of 3 means you can't use Vraska plus the second removal spell to kill my Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah, that's weird.
They must have.
Lava Coil. I guess if they kill this, they're trading.
Yeah, it's fair. Kill either one.
So the reason why I paid mana to blow that up there is because the treasure token is, they get a treasure token if it resolves. Your Esper...
Stand down, make your captain proud.
Looks like it's line 13. I had something put together for it already. It looks like it had the wrong name, Wolfie. We're done here.
Yeah, super dead now.
So we'll probably be up tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, I'm taking tomorrow. I'll probably up Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. One of the early days next week. Yeah, I wonder if there's anything we can do to, like, have the power level be better when we don't have the Frenzy, but I'm not really sure that there is.
I don't know.
Like, the Explorer creatures are really the only kind of selection we have in this deck. Like, I guess you could play...
What else can sink?
Yeah, I guess you could play, like, the light 'em up, but, like, that's pretty narrow. And when our deck's expensive, it's, like, not ideal. I don't have a land, so let's Jadelight. 2 hopefully. How dare you take a day off to answer me? Well, I'm not actually taking a day off. I'm just not streaming. So, tomorrow I'm going to be writing an article, building deck list that people submitted for build-arounds, and updating the website. Land is a great draw here, because it means I can do this, into this, this, into this. Getting Wayward Swordtooth into play before I Frenzy is ideal. Like to draw land next turn, ideally. Not going to attack here because I want to hit the City's Blessing ASAP, and if I attack and they trade.
Here I come. Okay, here I come. Hold on, let go of the door, please.
Uncle Matt's been summoned.
Alright. Okay, here I come. Let's go.
Okay, just do this. Attack with these. Yeah, we talked about the Vat dude a little bit, non-carver. The problem with him is that, like, he competes for slots that, like, the Explorer package is taking up, and the Explorer package is pretty important in this archetype to help you churn through once you have Frenzy going. So I think I'd rather have Explorer than, like, a clunky shuffle. It gets a +1 counter by activating its adaptability. It has a built-in way to get a +1 counter. friend. Get these Phoenixes back in, these Lava Coils again. Yeah, a lot of people are hyped on Stomping Ground. I definitely think like green red is going to be if there's a breakout from these new guilds that like pushes up into tier 1 along with like Jeskai and green black and Drakes, it's gonna be something girl. If you're seeing a lot of mono red, are you playing best of 1? I haven't seen much mono red at all in the best of 3 cube. Yeah, I think the Angels deck is going to be very reasonable. And just like I said, like the card quality in the Angels deck is very high. And also like, it's not like any of the cards you're crafting with the Angels deck are like super niche cards either. So like, if you end up deciding you don't like the Angels deck, whatever you craft is going to translate to another deck most likely. We did not get a raid actually, Dougie. The numbers have just been absurd since the release. Oh, they missed a land drop. Huh. Think I'm supposed to Druid, and then if they miss another land drop, I'll double coil their mana dorks here. Yeah, I think I just like it's gonna be a quick game. Goodbye, friends. Yeah, the new set released on Thursday. So, ever since the new set release, numbers have been really, really good. Not just for myself, but just for Magic in general. Like right now, Magic has, there's, 15,000 people watching Magic, which is a lot for a Saturday afternoon with nothing going on. No major event. This deck mostly just got Stomping Ground. Pretty good start here. Less good against Hallowed Fountain. Maybe they're an aggressive Hallowed Fountain deck, but who knows? I think I'm gonna go ahead and lean on this. We could get quenched here. The old growth spiral into opt. Good line. Looks like Bant Flash here. It's a deck that we've been playing a little bit on stream. This is probably going to be a tough matchup for us. We don't really have a great way to force our copy of Experimental Frenzy to resolve. So, my sequencing here gets a little bit punished by Quench. Obviously, I could have led on the Jadelight to play the Jadelight around Quench, but I chose to lead on the Branchwalker in case my opponent had an Absorb. I wanted to absorb that. Let's try and stick this. They do have Frilled Mystic mana available now. If this comes into play, though, I get to Ascend, because this is my 10th permanent, so the Wayward Swordtooth would be able to attack, which would be nice. I'm gonna get Settle the Wreckage, aren't I? Bant Flash usually has. The last build we played had 3 in the main, and I wouldn't be surprised if some people go up to 4. Card's very good in that archetype. Yep. Yeah, that's true, Hoaxer. If they had Quench, they probably would have played it turn 2. I agree with that assessment. So now I'm gonna attack pretty hard into this. Settle the Wreckage. Because it would let me stick Experimental Frenzy. Do I attack with everything? If I don't attack with everything, it's not lethal. Yeah, I could do this. Honestly, if I get settled, I kind of want all of these to go so I get more lands. The Dino just makes this a lot better, but I think I need to make the attack lethal. Because this is only 9 and they're at 10. I think I have to attack for lethal. Because, like, if they settle me, I then get to resolve the frenzy. Okay. All right. Go. Hitting 2 elves here is really good because it means if they tuck the frenzy, I get to attack them. I get to kill the tough ream.
Hold that thought.
Really? They just plus the Teferi?
That's what's Matty upstairs.
Okay.
Wild animals I like. People, not so much.
I think I actually want to play out a second one of these. So that way they can't just, like, Teferi tuck my only one away.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Let's make another move. Hurry.
So, people are commenting that Jadelight plus Vivien isn't a combo. Or, sorry, Vivien plus Experiment Friend isn't a combo, but it actually is. So, like here, I don't want to cast this Bite with Fire. So I'm going to plus this Vivien. And clear past it.
Comes.
No, they almost certainly have a counterspell. Vivien does also break Frenzy for free. She's actually very synergistic with Frenzy. There's probably a Settle the Wreckage hiding, but like, Settle the Wreckage isn't even bad for us at this point because it like gets us to our Banefire. In some other places, it might be, but in my channel, it's never an appropriate thing to tell someone to grow some skin when they tell you something's obnoxious and ask you not to do it. Have a little respect and empathy for other human beings. This is fine to leave on top, right? I get to go ahead and play it. I think I'm actually not supposed to do anything with this because I could have Seal away. And Vivien could shoot this down next turn. So something that's really awkward here is that my opponent has 4 Angel of Grace in their deck, which means that even if I find Banefire, it's not guaranteed to kill them. Slow and steady. Magic Arena on mobile win, chat. What if we get milled? Asking the real questions.
Get that out of here.
All right, so let's attack Teferi with these two and attack them with this. I'm attacking Teferi with 2 in case they flash in a blocker. One, two, three. It's just elementary. What could it be? Still a Banefire on top of my deck.
Let's skip to the good part.
Alright, let's attack them with everything here. They do have Angel of Grace, so this lets them eat something. And then the Banefire can't kill them this turn. Which is a little bit bad, but meh. I think I just want to leave that on top for now. This Banefire. This one right here. I think we're gonna cash these in here at this point. Start playing some cards out of the old hand here. I think I want to cash in both of them. Let's do this, play this, play this. We've not played any Sultai personally that seemed great yet. And then, hopefully they don't have another Angel of Grace and we can kill them next turn with this Banefire.
We need to move quickly.
Yeah, I saw what my auto tapper was going to use. I didn't do that on accident. I looked at what it wanted to tap and said, yeah, that's fine. Alright. And if they settle me, they die to Banefire. So they probably have another Angel of Grace here. They're 28 cards into their deck and have only played one. They probably have 4. Actually just stone cold nothing. Okay, deal. Phoenix, Vivien, Carnage Tyrant, Cindervines, all of these seem okay. Fight with Fire seems a little bit mediocre. Wildgrowth Walker, not fantastic. Did I decide to play Bant Flash the Open? Maybe. So, the opponent has a card called Angel of Grace in their deck that says when they play it until end of turn, damage can't reduce their health total to less than 1. So that technically doesn't counter the Banefire, but the Banefire isn't then lethal. One of those like weird like Astra style things. Man, I need 3 more cuts. Is it just Vivien? I think maybe Vivien's not what I want to be doing. She gets pressured by their flash creatures. She can kill their flying creatures, but she also gets pressured by them. Yeah, the opponent's deck is actually one of my favorite decks in the current standard format. I don't know how it lines up against this Fringe deck that we're playing right now, but I've liked it a lot. We've played it probably like 4 or 5 hours over the last couple of days. You can find it on my YouTube channel. The Angel of Grace isn't a prevention effect, it's a replacement effect, right? Okay, I'm pretty sure Angel of Grace stops this. Did the audio go weird? I think the internet's fixed. We've been streaming for the last 6 hours without issues. We're getting close to the 6-hour mark, so it's probably about ready to get kicked. Seems real good. Good strong curve. Worth noting that my opponent cannot cast Absorb because they have a Forest in play. I'm gonna leave that there. So that shock probably means Frilled Mystic. I like how this deck goes through its cards seemingly faster than your Amulet Turtle build. Thanks for the 4 months, and thanks for the Bant Flash deck. Thanks for the Twitch Prime Shield Rose chap. Welcome back. Why not attack first? That's an interesting question. It's probably better to attack first. Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with your assessment that I should have attacked first. Yep, this is the stock Magic Arena music. I actually like it a lot. It's like good solid background music. They didn't counter the Jadelight, so I'm gonna go ahead and play Cindervines here and see if this can resolve too. Yep. Good discipline on their part. Pretty good sequence for us here. Land, Rekindling Phoenix. Have a lethal Banefire set up for next turn almost. We have 9 mana totals for 1 short. It's unfortunate that we didn't draw the land next turn because we could kill them. So I can only Banefire for 8 here. So, maybe I'm supposed to play this because this can't be countered.
Let's slow. You know what? I'm not done yet.
This deck's pretty good against all the wreckage. You get to ramp up and do that. I'm gonna restart this really quick just in case the audio is going wonky. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy standard best of 3 constructed on Magic Arena, this is definitely a channel for you. We play a ton of standard. We also play some modern and some legacy on Magic Online on occasion. Big shout out, as always, to my subscribers. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. They are quite literally the folks that keep me employed. Past my subscribers, I also have my wonderful sponsor banners over here. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, you can also find their streaming coverage every single month at twitch.tv/NRG series. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars using code Hoagland at bit.ly/HugelBar. You can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. And of course, BCWSupplies.com would love to help you protect your very valuable paper Magic the Gathering cards. They do sleeves, deck boxes, binders, all sorts of other great gaming accessories. And using code Jeff10 at BCWSupplies.com, you can save 10% on your purchases there. Of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out to Hoaglandia. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for dropping in by today. Remember, if you are new to the stream, make sure you hit that follow button. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what. I'm going to be streaming live here for probably another 3 or 4 hours. We're going to play one more match with this deck, and then we're going to play Rakdos Aggro, and then maybe one more, I think. But if you enjoy my commentary and the way I break things down, everything I stream gets archived on my YouTube channel after the fact. So youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. If you're hungry to find new sweet decks in the standard format, we've streamed, by the end of today, probably like 30 plus hours of standard content already since it dropped on Magic Arena. You can find all of that at jeffhoagland.com as well as youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Waiting on our wonderful opponent here so we can play the next match. This hand needs a red source, but it's like pretty reasonable if it finds one, so let's keep. Poor little elf. Looks like Esper, perfect. As an Esper control player, would you prefer Moment of Craving or Cry against this deck? Probably Moment of Craving. I don't know that we don't have that many things that die to Cry, right? Do we have a couple? I'm just gonna ban that person, actually. That person got timed out earlier for saying something silly. Don't come into this chat and talk about how you're proud of roping people. That's just not nice. B. Haiti, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Let's just get them out of here. How reasonable do you think Precinct Hero would be as a 2-drop in a Mardu midrange deck? We actually played Hero in a Mardu midrange aggro deck yesterday, and it seemed really sweet. Catch the replay on YouTube. I said roping. Roping refers to in Hearthstone because there's a literal rope that goes across the stream. So that vernacular or jargon, if you will, has taken over and is used in other games like this now. Yeah, it was so weird. Like, I had never interacted with or watched some of the... So, like, I watched a little bit of Artifact stuff trying to learn that. And Life Coach, the person Life Coach was participating in Artifacts. And they were, like, bragging on stream coverage about how good he was at roping his opponents in Hearthstone. I was just like, why would that be a feature you want to talk about? How is that something you want to brag about? You're really good at abusing the timer. Like, how incredibly obnoxious. So, I like Gem... So, I should talk about what I'm doing here. So the last couple turns, I've had the ability to play Experimental Frenzy, but decline to. And the reason why I did that is my opponent's been holding up counterspell mana, and I really don't want my Experimental Frenzy to get countered, ideally. So I'm being a little bit conservative with that, because ideally, they're going to tap out for something silly, and then I'll stick Experimental Frenzy while they're tapped out. Hey, Aries. Well, welcome to a live one. Hope you're having a good Saturday and a good weekend. I'm really looking forward to ranked. Once we can play ranked best of 3, hopefully there'll be less things like on game 1 unmoored egos. Hey, Rap Video with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate it. I mean, I assume they're naming Banefire or Experimental Frenzy here. Like, Banefire is probably an easy name. They could name Carnage Tyrant too. Carnage Tyrant would be a reasonable name. If they don't have a Negate or a Disdainful Stroke here, I get to stick Experimental Frenzy if they don't name that. I feel like it's Banefire or Carnage Tyrant are the 2 most likely names, with this being a 3rd. They must have named Carnage Tyrant because nothing got exiled. Good solid plays. Yeah, they should. Ideally, it should show what they named, but it doesn't. Any game where my Esper opponent died to back-to-back Frilled Mystic, countering their Settle. Then next game, I had Lethal in play, and they unmoored Frilled Mystic and conceded. That's great. That's fantastic. Oh, Swordtoothy. Play the land, Swordtoothy. Sing the song of my people. Was that a good turn? How do we feel about that one? Now above average, potentially above average. Oh no, not my second experimental frenzy. How will I ever win the game now? Magic's a great game, chat. Magic is truly wonderful. I love it. I love it. Truly, truly enjoy it. Am I supposed to Cindervines this matchup? I'm not sure that I am. I also wouldn't mind trimming some mana creatures, though, I don't think. Is this the most powerful deck we've played today? Yeah, probably. Also, we played... No, the Black-White Angels deck was pretty good. The engine in this deck is really powerful when it gets going, but I think Angels is going to be my pick for the deck of the day so far. Unless Rakdos aggro really performs. We're going to play Rakdos aggro next. I think you might be right that Incubation Druid's not great here, Hippity. Maybe, so I was trying to think of a way to fit the Elf Crab into the deck, and that might be the slot that I want to do that. I think you're right that, like, the curve in this deck is low enough that Druid's not fantastic. Why do you think there's so much burn / mono red? Well, there's only burn / mono red running around because you're probably playing best of 1. If you play best of 3 where you have access to a sideboard for 2 of your 3 games, decks like burn and mono red tend to get much worse because you have a lot of meaningful sideboard cards that you can board in to hose those decks that just, like, aren't main deck playable. Elf Crab's very good with Frenzy Totos. Elf Crab lets you shuffle when Frenzy's in play. So, like, it's just a genuinely good card that also shuffles while Frenzy's out. This is our nut draw. This is our most explosive start. We go turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Wayward Swordtooth, 3rd land, 2nd Elf. Just very, very strong. I think I've played, so we've been streaming for 6 hours today. I streamed 10.5 hours yesterday and 11.5 hours on Thursday. So that's what? 27 hours of Magic. I can count on one hand the number of times I've played against Mono Red. And 27 hours of best of 3. Alrighty. How was your lunch with Declan?
It was good. Made no compromises. Surprised nobody.
Made no compromises. I'm actually really excited for Mortify to hit my Wayward Swordtooth there after it already ramped me, because, like, that's one less piece of enchantment removal for my Frenzy later. %40 mono red on the ladder. Well, you know, there's always best of 3. Best of 3 is wonderful. In my opinion, it's the best way to play Constructed Magic. That's just not strictly true, Duo. As someone who spent a lot of time playing both, it's pretty much the same. There are awkward non-decks full of bad cards and budget choices in both of them. And actually, the traditional queue uses MMR-based matchmaking, so if you're actually winning a lot of games, you'll get queued into better decks on average a lot of the time. This is much worse than, like, a lot of other things could be here. Here is, okay, so I want to shut down what's currently going on in chat. When I talked about how I enjoy best of 3, a bunch of people all of a sudden started crapping on best of 1. It's fine if you don't like playing best of 1. Nobody's making you play best of 1 Magic, but there are people who enjoy playing Magic in the best of 1 format, and that's okay. One of the things that makes Magic this really great game is that it has so many different game modes that you can enjoy playing Magic playing. And if you don't like best of 1, great, don't play it. But if other people like best of 1 and they get to enjoy Magic by playing best of 1, shut up and let people like things. Someone else enjoying playing Magic as best of 1 doesn't hurt your gameplay experience. I think I'm gonna Cindervine the Reborn. I don't know. Like, what are they? They get my Wayward Swordtooth back? Thanks, Relocate. Dark Age Crisis. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that.
I can't attack.
They have 5, 6, 7. They only have 8 permanents. I don't know. Like, do I care about them having this? This isn't doing much either. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill it just in case. Oh, we were in their combat. Whoops. Technically, I should do that at their end step. Give them less information.
Glad to be here. Your
Well, I mean, Kaya's gonna gain them 6 here. She's gonna eat an attack. There's 5 cards in their bid, so worth noting here. Do I leave Kaya in play so that way they can't flip Azcanta next turn? I think I actually leave Kaya in play so they can't flip Azcanta next turn. Well, now we're killing Lyra. All right, so I guess that plan's out the window. If I didn't draw the Banefire to kill Lyra there, I'd just ignore Kaya, I think. But since they're gonna flip this anyways, this is fine.
I had guild business to attend to anyway.
Well, I think I'm leaving this here. Yep. I mean, like, we're still kind of ahead at the moment, right? I'm just going to let us draw this because we can't cast the next thing under it anyways. Oh, I didn't play a land yet this turn. I should have been this because I didn't play a land. So it was a mistake to keep this because I hadn't played a land for turn. I was thinking I can't play whatever's under this anyways, but that's not true because I get a land. Just for folks that are new to the stream, I encourage. That's awkward. I encourage corrections and feedback to when I say something and you feel it's off base. But if you're gonna tell me I'm wrong, you need to cite a source. You can't just say, Jeff, you're wrong, and feelings. You just say, Jeff, here's a source that shows why you're wrong. Otherwise, it's just your feelings against mine, and this is my benevolent kingdom, so my feelings reign supreme here. I think the Cindervines is probably fine. My feelings. I welcome being shown that I'm wrong in a reasonable manner, but if you're just gonna say, no, just like put me down, Don't do it. I'm wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Just ask my wife. It's great. It's really good, actually. Do this into Jadelight, into Frenzy potentially. We might double up these. I don't know. If they don't have a counterspell up on 3, I'll probably play this. Gonna hit some lands. Yeah, it's fine. It's broken. No way you would have turn 1 Llanowar Elves this often. Listen, professionalism. Nothing but professionalism on this stream, okay? The Cindervines could potentially punch the clock and go to work here. Getting this down on turn 3 represents a lot of damage potentially. Did I shoot this? I think I just shoot this. So creature decks like this can sometimes beat a sweeper. This is not a hand where we can beat a sweeper, so I'm just gonna take my chips and shove them across the table, put lethal into play with this land. Like, do you have Kaya's Wrath? Kaya's Wrath. All right, Frenzy or Phoenix, please. Land. That's exactly like Frenzy or Phoenix. That's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna have extra tools like Frenzy and Resilient Threats to like play through sweepers, and other times it's just gonna be like, well, we just kind of gotta cross our fingers and hope we can't have it. And one of the big things that separates good players from mediocre players is like realizing when you need to push and when you need to hold back. The light just flickered. Hey, McBear, thanks for the brand new tier 2 sub. I really appreciate that next level of support. My tier 2 subs support me a little bit extra, so be sure to take a look at the deck queue and let me know something you'd like to bump up in there. I just run Arena on Linux using Wine. Play on Linux is just a wrapper for Wine. If you use Wine staging, it fires right up. Alright, so thoughts on this. This deck is really sweet and churned through itself when you have Experimental Frenzy going, but honestly, something to think about, like we just played against Esper there, is that if control decks are going to be playing not only Thought Erasure, but also Mortify, this deck probably becomes a lot weaker overall, right? So, like, this is an interesting study, and, like, we thought this deck would just get better in the new format because its mana gets better with Stomping Ground, right? But, on top of that, the power level of cards and decks especially is contextual of format that they're being played in. So like, even though the mana got better in this deck than it was last season, the fact that there's more enchantment hate that's main deckable even makes this deck a little bit weaker. That being said, things to think about if I wanted to keep working on this and improving on it. Incubation Druid was a little bit mediocre. This deck, while it has some 4s and 5s up here, the curve mostly stops at 3. So I think playing this Mana Dork on 2 is a little bit lackluster. I think I would probably get some crabs for this deck. I think Growth Chamber Guardian's a card I've been super impressed with in every other deck that we've played. And this card allows us to shuffle with its Adapt trigger while we have Experimental Frenzy in play. So it has some synergy when we're going off. And it has it's just a good card to play in the format. So I think I would probably swap Incubation Druid with Growth Chamber Crab. Somebody asked, and get the 4th one in here too, maybe over Phoenix. Somebody asked about competitive deck lists. So we really don't know exactly what's competitive in the current format because we just had a new set drop. So people are still kind of trying to feel things out. Generally, the site MTG Goldfish, as well as my own personal website, jeffhoagland.com, has a good selection of deck lists on it. I'm actually going to be going through my personal website tomorrow because I update my deck list manually because they're deck lists that I feel I know are pretty reasonable. And I'm going to update with a bunch of decks from the new cards in it tomorrow. So probably by tomorrow evening.